Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, we got an interesting one we want to talk about here today, and that's Shakur Stevenson. And this seems like it can possibly be the matchup for 2025. I'm hoping that's the case. But before we jump into this video, I do want to give you guys the opportunity to join our Discord where we talk about boxing sun up and sun down. The link to the Discord will be in the comment section and in the description. So make sure you guys join the Discord. It is a fabulous time that we're having in there. And also make sure you check us out every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we do our live stream, live call in, as well as panels. Jay, we recently saw here that Shakur Stevenson was at the offices of Matchroom Boxing. And supposedly they were there to talk about the future. Now, there's some people that have said that Shakur Stevenson was really there to sign a contract extension and that his fight deal with Matchroom was only one fight. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Why would you sign him to just a one fight deal? Supposedly, if you were always intending to sign him to a multi-fight deal, that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But he was there at the Matchroom offices, and hopefully they were there to talk about the future. And that future was Gervonta Davis. And Shakur Stevenson over the last few days has talked a lot about Gervonta Davis. Now, one of the things that we have felt that gives Gervonta Davis a decided advantage if he were to face off against Shakur Stevenson is the fact that he has punching power, extreme punching power for that division. But Shakur Stevenson is basically telling us that his power won't matter whatsoever. He made a statement. I'm going to paraphrase this, Jay, but he said something to the extent of, "How is he going to hit me? I have been in the ring with Gervonta Davis in the past. I've watched all of Tank's fights. He won't be able to hit me," which suggests that the power makes no difference. You can't. What did Floyd Mayweather used to say? You can't hit what you can't see. Isn't that what he used to say? So that is what Shakur Stevenson is basically implying here with his comments relative to Gervonta Davis. I thought it was an interesting topic. Jay, you know how I feel about it, but I'm going to go ahead and shift it to you, give you the floor. I want to see how you feel about it, and then I'll tell the folks how I feel about Shakur Stevenson. I think people will probably be surprised with my answer, but go ahead.
Quite sure they probably will be. But for me, I'm tired of Shakur with this stuff, man. With this type of talk, he's always trying to pat himself on the back or ask someone else to pat him on the back. Dude, you've been hit before. Artem caught you. You got hit by Patley. You got hit. You get hit in every fight sooner or later. They just don't crack like Tank. They don't have the IQ as Tank. You said it yourself. Tank is a boxer puncher, meaning he's going to give you hell when you're in that ring. So he's going to touch you. It's boxing. You're going to get touched sooner or later. You just can't run around the ring. If your objective just think you're just going to run around the ring and win a fight, that ain't going to happen either. So you're going to have to fight sooner or later. You're going to get touched, bro. You're going to get touched. How you react is going to be a big thing, because we haven't seen you get popped with someone with crack that can crack like that. Artem hit you, you held him a little bit. Patty hit you a few times. Patty has 4 knockouts in 15 fights. So all this, you're not Floyd also. You make it seem like you do a lot of movement and everything like that. Your primary objective is to evade, and that you go back. You don't do the head movement like a sweep. You don't do the head movement like a Floyd and make them miss and make them pay. You make them miss and you run. You don't make them pay. You're not going to win a fight like that, especially with someone like Tank. Tank is not your average guy. He's gonna box you. He's gonna set traps for you. He's gonna eventually catch you. The thing is, do you have enough power to keep him up off you? The thing is, can you take his power? Yeah, you say you spar with him. So Devin and Ryan sparred. We saw how Devin was getting dropped on the canvas a few times. Austrian or not, it was still left hook that was dropping Devin. So I mean, and plus that was years ago. You're a different fighter. Tank's a different fighter. So stop making it seem like he's not going to ever touch you. It's going to happen. The thing is, how you're going to react is going to be the key in that fight with you and Tank.
Yeah, so I think you make some interesting points there. I think Tank is going to find it difficult to find him for a multitude of reasons. Number one, Tank is the shorter fighter with the shorter reach.
It's always a shorter fighter.
I understand that. I understand that. But Shakur Stevenson fights in a very specific way, in a very specific manner. He is overly defensive in most cases. He's going to always attempt to move backwards. He is not going to open himself up to any type of risk. So I think Shakur will be difficult to hit cleanly. Now, to your point, Shakur's been hit. I cannot say, though, that I feel that Shakur has been hit flush yet. Now, Tank is a different animal. Tank is a different, I didn't see real good flush shots, but, Tank is a different animal, a different speed, a different technical ability, different level of power. But even with all those factors, I think Tank is going to find it difficult to find him. Not to say that he will never find him, but I do believe it's going to be difficult to find him because Shakur doesn't even mind looking sloppy in order to stay out of the way. We saw that in the De Los Santos fight. So I think what Shakur is basically articulating to us is that he's going to be extremely defensive in that fight. He's not going to take a lot of chances in that fight. And so he's not going to open himself up. And that's the thing about the sport, right? He says it's the art of hitting and not getting hit. And we understand that. But part of that is your ability to hit and not get hit. There's still a part of that, which is hitting. You have to also hit, right? And it's not hitting and not getting hit. You have to actually hit. And when I say hit, and I'm not talking about just, pity pat shots and jabs and stuff like that. I mean, really get in there and deliver decisive blows. Now, he did that against Padley, but Padley is a lower level fighter. Gervonta Davis is a higher level fighter. We want to see you take some risk in terms of inflicting damage to Tank as well, not just being defensive. So I think he's right. It'll be hard for Tank to find him. I think the fight could potentially be quite sloppy and not entertaining. But I think he does have a point in that regard.
The only point he has, he's defensive. He's trying to make it seem like he's never going to get touched. I'm not saying Tank is just going to come in and just going to stretch him in the first round. Yeah, it's going to take a little while for Tank to figure him out, but he's making it seem like he's not going to ever get touched in this fight. And that's not going to happen. That's actually not going to happen. And if it goes where Tank doesn't touch him enough, he's not going to win the fight on decision anyway. He's not going to win because this is going to be a fight where that means that Tank is going to be aggressive and it's going to look kind of similar to De Los Santos, but Tank is actually going to be smarter than De Los Santos. He's going to be cut the ring off. He's going to touch him more than De Los Santos did, and he'll win by decision on that way. Plus, his Tank as well. He's not going to go in there with an edge on Tank thing. He can just skirt around the ring and not get touched and try to keep palm off with a jab every now and then and win on the cards. That's not going to happen. Not based on what he's done in the past fights. People want to see different. They're just going to grade that on aggression. That's how they're going to look at that. And that's not going to happen for Shakur's favor.
You guys let us know what you think in the comment section in regards to this. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are out.